Last year, actually, 8 starters, probably the team that, lost to Nazareth in the super sectional. But the kids really have come together this year. We've got a good mix of seniors, juniors, and a sophomore, and even a little freshman catcher. And they've been a lot of fun to coach. They work extremely hard, and without a doubt, they're grinding. They compete.
Let's talk about your opponent, St. Francis out of Wheaton. Now, it's always such a grind. You come out of a Monday or a Tuesday super sectional game. You barely have 72 hours to think about your next opponent. Have you been able to scout Wheaton, St. Francis? Did you play them? You know much about them?
We didn't play them. I think we had a few common opponents. What helps in the days of technology, with High School Cube and with Game Changer, there's a lot of data out there that you can get on teams. And as long as that data is fairly accurate, you at least feel that you kind of have a good step forward going into tomorrow. I know they come from a great baseball conference. They're well coached. They won the sectional at our place in 2011, so we're familiar with them a little bit. I think they're very similar to us. They pick it very well, and I think their strength is also their pitching. So I expect a great game tomorrow.
And of course, I've already seen so many great 3-2, 2-1 games in the state tournament. You expect that this time of year. So let's talk about pitching. You already mentioned one of them. Do you know who you're throwing tomorrow? Got a game plan for the weekend?
We'll be throwing Jack Spicer tomorrow. So far Jack's won both of his postseason starts. He won the regional final and the sectional final. He's 8-3 on the year. He's gotten stronger as the season's gone on. Athletic, 6'5" righty, and he's excited to take the bump tomorrow, and we're excited to have him out there.
All right, Troy Whalen, head coach of Grayslake Central. Good luck tomorrow, sir. Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
You betcha. So there's our first of 8 coaches we're talking to. Let's bring up his opponent tomorrow, and that's Coach Rich Janer from the St. Francis Spartans of Wheaton. So we got Coach Janer coming up. Turn it up a little bit, you say? Okay, there you go. Chris Olson telling us we got to boost the volume here. I'm Steve Brandy, live on 1340 WJOL. Here's the head coach. Am I pronouncing your name right, by the way? Janer? Okay, Rich Janer, and he'll be putting on the headset. Now, a lot of people know I live up your way in the Wheaton area and heard a lot about you guys this year. But why don't you tell me, Coach Janer, start of the season, did you see your Wheaton St. Francis team here in Joliet playing for a state championship?
Well, we've always had confidence in our guys. We did start the season 2-5. We had some preseason injuries that kind of set us back. But middle of the season, we kind of went on a tear and won 18 of our last 21 games and are moving in a good direction here.
Well, I tell you what, I look at how you've done it here in the state tournament. I said the other coach had some headaches. How about you? You had a 3-2 win over Canelan. Then you had, a 2-1 win over Burlington Central and a 1-0 win over Sycamore. Your easiest game was the super sectional. You beat Metamora 7-3, but every other game was a one-run game. This time of year, I love games like that, but it must be kind of hard on the coaches.
It is, but hopefully, it's obviously harder on the players. They're the ones with the bats and the gloves, and we did have them out there in some pressure situations, so hopefully we'll be battle-tested here and ready to go for the state finals.
And we talk about a team that's won a game 3-2, 2-1, 1-0. Small ball, fundamentals, defense, or what kind of a coach are you? What do you preach on March 1st that really comes in handy in games like that?
Well, we hang our hat on pitching and defense, and our defense has been stellar, not only making the routine plays, but making some great plays out there. And our bullpen in particular, our closer has been Andrew Brundage, who was a starting pitcher for most of the year, and has been spectacular in dramatic fashion, getting outs in the 7th inning with tying runs and winning runs on the base and in the box. So we credit a lot of our success to him in those late innings.
I asked Coach Whalen this. I ask you, have you had a chance to take a look at Grayslake Central these just few days you've had since your super sectional win? Have you learned anything?
Yeah, you know what? We were out at their facility for sectional 2 years ago. And, first impression was that they were just a first-class operation. Facility was excellent. The players were great, and just a first-class club. And we've done some homework, and hopefully we'll be prepared and have our defense in the right positions and be ready to go.
10 years coaching at St. Francis, 190 wins, 145 losses. This is your first trip to Joliet, I believe.
Yeah, first trip to the state finals, in the 50-year history of the school. So very proud of our team, and we're excited about the days to come.
And you know who you're throwing tomorrow? Or?
Yeah, Jack Petrando, our senior right-hander. Jack was part of our 2011 sectional championship team as a sophomore. So he's been down the path before, and one of our good senior leaders, and we're looking forward to what he'll bring tomorrow.
All right, Rick Janer, head coach Rich Janer. Want to make sure I get that right. I might tell you I need my reading glasses more. Rich Janer, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And good luck to the Wheaton St. Francis Spartans tomorrow. All right, that's the first game. Grayslake Central against Wheaton St. Francis. 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, a 3A semifinal game right here at Silver Cross Field. Now let's move on to a game that we will have on our airwaves tomorrow, 12 noon here on 1340 WJOL. Another team called the Rams, the Mount Vernon Rams. Let's bring up Coach Tim Holloway to talk about the Mount Vernon Rams. And, of course, they'll be playing Joliet Catholic tomorrow in the second game that we'll have on the air. And we're going to learn about this is an interesting battle of two teams a little further apart from each other than Grayslake Central and Wheaton St. Francis are. So we'll bring the coach up here. Is he here, by the way? If not, we'll get Coach Voss over here for a bit. But head coach Tim Holloway of the Mount Vernon Rams is who we're looking for. We'll see if he's here. If not, I know Coach Voss and Joliet Catholic's guys are all here. Remember, tomorrow on 1340 WJOL, we will have the Joliet Catholic Mount Vernon game at noon, and then whichever game Joliet Catholic is in on Saturday, be it the third place game at 9 o'clock or the title game at 11:30, that one will be heard on 1340 WJOL. But more than anything, we want you folks out here at the ballpark. It is great to be going for these baseball championships every year at Silver Cross Field. We've had some classic moments over the years. There'll be more this weekend. Come on out to Silver Cross Field tomorrow and Friday. And I got to tell you, I'm looking forward to this because all these one-run games you see that have been played so far in the tournament, I think we're going to have some dramatic moments indeed. Tim Holloway is here, and hey, Coach, how you doing? Have a seat. Put on the headset. We're going to talk to you. 9 years leading the program, 192 wins, 120 losses, and as a head coach, this is your first time here, and boy, you're one of the younger guys here, so this is kind of new for you. You have ever been through something like this before?
Well, actually, in 2001, I was an assistant, and we came up here, and actually it was in King County at the time. We played Bradley Bourbonnais and came up a little short, but we had never been to the Final Four, so this is new for our school and myself as well.
Yeah, back then it was the Final 8 came up there, and now we've got 4 classes, so the Final 4 come here. And taking a look at the path you had along the way, looks like your easiest game was the sectional title game. You beat Bloomington 6-, or the super sectional game. You beat Bloomington 6-1, but along the way, hey, you guys had your tough ones. You beat Troy 2-1. I used to be down there. I know those guys pretty well. Then you had the 4-0 win over Effingham and the 2-0 win over Centralia. All these close games. Boy, this is one of the most competitive years I've seen for high school baseball.
Oh, it's been great. It's been a challenge, definitely. Triad is very good. They have a nice lineup, and we really had to pitch well and play good defense. But that's what we've done all year. We've had timely hitting, and that's been our recipe for success. So, if we can keep that up, we feel like we can compete. We know it's not going to be easy, but it's been a good run.
Pretty long trip for you guys up here. Have you had a chance to scout Joliet Catholic much at all?
Yes, I have. I've been able to see them a couple times, and had some friends up here help me out a little bit. But they look like a pretty good ball club, and we definitely respect them. But we also feel very confident ourselves. So. And we're looking forward to the challenge.
Talking to Tim Holloway, head coach of the Mount Vernon Rams. Tell me about the super sectional win over Bloomington 6-1. Was it as solid a win as it looks, or was it close for a while? How'd that game go for you?
Well, we got on them early. We were able to add on in the third inning, got up 4-0, took some of the pressure off, and just played a real solid game. Had some good 2-out RBIs. We also pitched and played defense as we have all year. So, I wouldn't say it was an easy game, but it was a game where we played really well and obviously came out on top.
You're down from Southern Illinois. How was the ride up today? How long did it take to get here?
Well, I was watching video most of the way here, but I'd say about 4.5. It's about 250 miles, I believe. So, on that charter, it was a pretty nice ride.
That's good to hear that you had one of those. Hey, what kind of a team are you? It looks like a low-scoring pitching defense team, but maybe not. You got some sticks too, I'm sure.
Yeah, we've got some nice hitters. We'll do, we'll swing the bat, but we'll also do some other things. We can score in a variety of ways at times. We have some pitchers that throw strikes, compete hard, and our defense has been pretty solid. We've been fielding around 970 all year. Turned a lot of double plays. It's not a flashy group, but they scrap, they compete, they play with a lot of energy, and it's just a fun group to coach.
And, of course, every coach I've talked to so far knows who they're pitching tomorrow. How about you? Got it figured out?
Yes, sir. We're going to throw our junior Brock Fulkerson, 6'5" righty. He's going to throw several pitches for strikes, and he'll compete out there. A very poised kid, and he's given us a good chance all year.
And we'll have you on the airwaves tomorrow. Mount Vernon against Joliet Catholic right here on 1340 WJOL starting about 12 noon or whenever the first game ends. All right, head coach Tim Holloway, thank you very much. Good luck to the Mount Vernon Rams.
Thank you.
All right, 3 down, 1 to go in the 3A category. Let's bring up somebody we know pretty well around here, Jared Voss, the head coach of the Joliet Catholic Hillman, and they'll be playing Mount Vernon. And of course, we'll have that game on tomorrow. Scott Slocum and I with the call. So get out here to Silver Cross Field and watch as many games as you can. But a lot of Joliet Catholic fans will be here, and Coach Jared Voss is going to be making his way up in a bit. Once again, the schedule tomorrow: the 3A semifinals at 10 and 12, the 4A semifinals at 3 and 5. On Saturday, the 3A third place game at 9, the 3A title game at 11:30, the 4A third place game at 3, and the 4A title game Saturday evening at 5:30. No rain in the forecast. Really looking good. Beautiful sunshine here tonight. And don't forget, the Joliet Slammers are in town. Get down here tonight and watch the Slammers, and maybe say hi to some of these wonderful young men that are here playing for state championships. Coach Voss making his way up, and as always, well, we've talked to him in this situation before. Good to see you, Coach. How you doing? And putting on the headset. Now, as they always say, we got to stop meeting like this. You guys made 3 consecutive trips out here, 2008, 2009, 2010, including the 2009 state championship. And probably feels like yesterday that you were here, or was it a long road to get back here again to Silver Cross Field?
Every season's different. Every season is its own unique journey. So, when you're playing 40, 45 games during the season, time goes by fast, but it's still a long season.
In your career, you've had 5 teams win 30 games at Joliet Catholic, including the 32-5 team that won the title 4 years ago. Not this year. You guys are 25-14. A bit of a slow start, some injuries early on that hurt you during our WJOL tournament. At what point, Coach Voss, did you think this Joliet Catholic team is turning it around and we can make it to Silver Cross Field?
I don't know if there was one specific moment that we said, okay, we're starting to turn things around. I think, as we went through some of the adversity that we faced during the season, I think our goal was just to get some continuity, some consistency in the lineup. And at whatever point that was going to happen, then we thought we might have a chance to start being consistent and winning some games.
And, of course, taking a look at your team picture in here, there are 2 guys not in it. You brought them up from the sophomore level, and they started the other day in your win over Harlan. Mitch Bowe was your leadoff hitter. Keegan Terrell, your number 9 hitter. So when you brought them up to the varsity level, when did you know, hey, I want these guys here?
Well, actually, Keegan was up earlier in the season and then sent back down and then brought back up again. And then, Mitch was a situation where we suffered an injury from one of our real good players, Rylan Bannon, our leadoff hitter and second baseman. But, we had knew Mitch at the lower levels. We knew he was a good player and could step in and fill that position for us.
And now here he is, your leadoff hitter, going for a state title. You've got a young team in many ways. You got to feel good about that.
Yeah, sure. There's 3 sophomores in the lineup, so those guys are getting some real good experience. John Kalisic, Aaron Markley, or a couple other juniors that have stepped in. Even Rylan Bannon, that hasn't been able to, contribute the last, few weeks, still, was putting up some pretty good numbers at varsity level for us.
And your other sophomore, Nick D'Alessandro, the starting pitcher the other night in your super sectional win over Harlan. But after he was done pitching, you put him back in center field, and he made the throw of the season. What a game that was. Harlan gave you guys a battle. I mean, here's a team with only 12 varsity players,
sure,
and they scrapped, and they fought, and they had 2 guys on base with nobody out, tying runs on in the 6th inning, and a sacrifice fly potentially to dead center field, and D'Alessandro guns down the guy at the plate. An incredible throw, and a lot of people were saying, gee, good thing he wasn't pitching anymore. We needed him out in center field to make the throw. What were you thinking? Did you think that throw had a chance?
Well, obviously, we're fortunate enough to see Nick practice and play on a daily basis, so we know the type of ability he has, and Nick did not want to come out of that game. He did not want to come off the mound. He wanted to stay out there on the mound and compete, but when I went out and visited him, I just let him know that, he's still an exceptional defensive player for us, and we need him locked in center field, and Cal can come in and finish things up for us.
And as impressed as I was with Harlan and how hard they played you guys at Crestwood Monday, you guys beat them with consecutive 2-out clutch hits. You had Ryan Peter, a 2-out infield hit, and then Kalisic with his 2-out, and that was the big one. Kalisic's big 2-out frozen rope into the left field corner. When you see your guys come through in the clutch with 2 outs, got to make you feel good.
Yeah, it does. People ask, what kind of team are you guys? We just try to get sound pitching, and sound defense, and hopefully some guys step up in some opportunities to get some 2-out big hits, and those are some of the things we've done in the playoffs.
Which of your pitchers you throwing tomorrow, by the way?
Well, the way we're lined up, just the order guys have been in, Sam should be lined up to go tomorrow.
Sam Couch?
Sam Couch, yeah.
Okay, and then Nick maybe on Saturday, right?
Again, you have, Cal and Nick or...
Cal, right, yes.
Or other, options, so... And even, junior Kyle Pulaski that hasn't thrown much in the playoffs, we got a lot of faith in him too. So hopefully it's a situation where we have 4 solid arms for 2 games.
So Couch, Placard, D'Alessandro, and I'm sorry, the fourth one you mentioned?
Kyle Pulaski.
Kyle Pulaski. Good grief. You guys are in pretty good shape, but talk about your opponent, Mount Vernon. They're from way down south in the state. Have you had a chance to study them at all?
No.
Everything happens so fast, right? 72 hours after the super sectional game, you're here.
Yeah, everything happened so fast. Obviously there's 2 schools that there's a great distance between us, so it just makes it difficult to get a lot of information on teams,
Well, I got a hunch you might be having a late study night tonight. I have a hunch. Coach Voss, thank you very much. And we'll have that game on the air tomorrow. Joliet Catholic against Mount Vernon on 1340 WJOL. Steve Brandy live at Silver Cross Field, and Craig Anderson and the whole IHSA team is here getting ready for a big weekend. And let's begin the 4A conversations. The Mount Carmel Caravan coming off a huge, exciting win over Lockport Monday night, and I was thrilled to be there to call that game. It was the 2 top programs in the state at the time, according to Sean Duncan and the folks at Prep Baseball Report. Brian Hurry, head coach of the Mount Carmel Caravan, is with us. Good evening, Coach. How you doing? And boy, I got a couple of guys I want to ask you about. Go ahead, put that on there. And it's just wonderful to be able to call such a well-played game like what we had in Crestwood on Monday night. And you guys, with that 2-1 win over Lockport, right down to the last pitch, that game was in doubt, and my heart was beating. I know yours had to be. At the end of the game, when Ron Sessler was up and he hit that frozen rope foul ball into the corner, and you went, and then a couple pitches later, ground out to short, game over, but that had to be pretty draining.
It sure was. It was an emotional drain, and you're exactly correct. That game could have went either way. That kid put a good swing on the ball there in the last inning, and that's baseball. It fell a couple feet foul in our favor, and we were fortunate to be on the right end of that. But you're certainly right. That ball drops fair. We're on the wrong end of it.
Let's talk about a player on your team that I was very impressed with, and that, of course, is your shortstop, Jerry Houston, a scholarship to Oregon. I understand not only did he play incredible defense, but he drove in both of your runs with a sac fly and a double down the line. He's fun to watch. Great ball player.
Jerry Houston's the heart and soul of Mount Carmel baseball. He's been an integral part of our program for 4 years now. He's our leader. He's our hardest worker. And, we go as Jerry goes. So, and he's even a better kid than he is a baseball player.
Now let's talk about your left-handed pitcher, and you've got a team like Lockport that can swing the bat, and your left-hander, Jeremy Kravitz, kept them off balance all night long. I loved watching him. How long has he been able to be leaned on like that? When did it work for him when you saw him come through the program?
His older brother, John, was our ace when we were here in 2011. He's now the number 2 starter at the University of Illinois. Jeremy's been with us on the varsity since his sophomore year. And watching him improve, over the last 3 years has just been awesome. He is relentless in his workouts. It's no mistake. It's not an accident that he's having the success that he's having due to his work ethic. So Jeremy's been another one like Jerry, been around the varsity a long time, provides great leadership.
People know about Mount Carmel football, but hey, Mount Carmel baseball, you've been there 14 years, 409 wins, 136 losses, a second-place finish in 2005, a fourth-place finish in 2011, but looking for that first title. When did you think this year's team has got a shot? Because, boy, the teams, we'll talk about it in a minute, the teams you had to beat to get here, what a list. When did you think, hey, we got something here?
Well, first of all, I feel like I work at the greatest high school in the United States of America. Our tradition in academics and athletics, I don't think there's any comparison. we haven't won this first state championship in baseball yet at Mount Carmel, but our tradition is proud. Just this morning I got an email from Denny McLean, two-time Cy Young Award winner, former MVP, 30-game winner, wishing us and the team the best, saying how despite winning, the Cy Youngs and his best memories in sports, competing and winning for Mount Carmel.
Hey, Denny McLean, one of the greatest Detroit Tigers of all time. That must feel good to get something like that from him.
It's great. We feel the support of our alumni. The last 10 days or so, the amount of emails and text messages that I've received from alums, guys that have played for me over the last 14 years, we feel they're all behind us. And again, that means everything to have, the guys that have played before. These guys really support us, and we hope that they show up here tomorrow night.
I already used this phrase twice, but you're the king of the Alka-Seltzer or Pepto-Bismol from this tournament. The 2-1 win over Lockport, the 5-4 win over a great St. Rita program, but you also had to beat Lyons Township 5-3, and at the start of the year, Prep Baseball Report had them on the cover. They were considered the top program, won the title here 2 years ago, so you beat Lyons, and then it was only the beginning. You beat these incredible programs to get here.
Well, we feel that Lyons Township is, one of the, if not the best baseball program in the state of Illinois. Heading into this year, they had knocked us out of the tournament 2 straight years. Back here in 2011, they beat us in the semifinal. Last year, they knocked us out in the sectional championship game. So Coach Ochoa does an unbelievable job there. That was a great game. It was a battle. And, our kids showed, what's inside of them. Kind of a refuse-to-lose type attitude. And, we're very happy being here, having the opportunity to play in the Final Four.
Coach Brian Hurry of Mount Carmel, final questions for you. Have you had a chance to study much about Neuqua Valley and who you pitching tomorrow?
We really haven't had much of a chance. We were so consumed with trying to win the games that we were involved in. My coaches did go out to Champaign and see them the other day, but we have limited information on them. We're still undecided on who we're going to throw tomorrow, depending on how certain guys feel, but we have confidence in all our guys to get out there and do the job.
All right, go get them, and good luck to you. Thank you very much. Great watching your team on Monday night. All right, Brian Hurry, head coach of Mount Carmel. Let's bring up a very familiar face, and that's Robin Renner. He's been here before, and Robin Renner is the head coach of the Neuqua Valley Wildcats. As I said, there's a couple of Rams in 3A and a couple of Wildcats in 4A. So let's bring in one of the Wildcats coaches, and here he is, Coach Robin Renner from Neuqua Valley. And good seeing you again, and I tell you, time goes fast. It seems like I could close my eyes and go back 6 years ago when you guys beat New Trier for the title, and a number 9 hitter by the name of Peter Buck cleared the bases with a double, and boy, that had to be great for you. The number 9 hitter helps you win the state title, and all these kids with you now, they were only in 5th or 6th grade then. Time goes fast, doesn't it?
Well, they all feel like they were there. We talk about it so much about how when you get to this part of the season that anything can happen, with any team. So that was a great story. That was a great year. But that's over, and we're here now.
And since then, you had the 3rd place finish the next year, but now you're back here at Joliet Silver Cross Field. Now, let's take a look at your journey. It looks like your toughest games were early. You had to beat Yorkville 4-2. You had to beat Plainfield North 4-3. Then a rather easy win over Downers Grove North, and a 5-2 win in the Super Sectional over Moline. But those first couple of games, especially the 4-3 win over Plainfield North, must have been some very key tense moments in those games.
There was. Out of the 5 wins that got us here, we came from behind in 4 of them, including that one. So, our guys have done a great job. They do it offensively. They make adjustments during the game, and it seems like as the games got longer, deeper into the game, that they excelled and they persevered through everything.
Playing a great program in Mount Carmel. Had a chance to scout them much this year at all?
Not much at all. We watched the Lockport game. That's the only game we were able to watch. One thing that we know for sure about Mount Carmel is that they are very, very good.
Fundamentally sound indeed. Now, what about you guys? You know who you're pitching tomorrow, or you got a plan at this point?
We do. Cody Call, a right-handed senior, will start the game, and we got 3 other guys that go to if needed.
Tell me about your hitters. Who do you lean on to get the big hit, or just to move the runner along?
That's one thing that's unique about our team is we have produced 1 through 9, throughout the season, and there really isn't, a week will go by and we'll play 2 or 3 games, and 2 or 3 guys will stand out. The next week it'll be somebody else. Like I said, 1 through 9 have really produced. I think that's what's got us here is how solid we are 1 through 9.
All right, I can't wait to see this game tomorrow. Neuqua Valley against Mount Carmel. Coach Renner, thank you very much. Good luck tomorrow. Robin Renner, head coach of Neuqua Valley's Wildcats. Let's look at the second game tomorrow in 4A, and that one will be played at 5 o'clock. And we're going to bring up St. Charles's head coach, the St. Charles Fighting Saints, coached by Lynn Asquini, and he's on his way. They play Libertyville tomorrow. And St. Charles East, that's not too far from my current home in Wheaton either. So a lot of these high schools I'm a little familiar with. And this is the Fighting Saints. Here he comes in the orange and black. Looks like a Baltimore Orioles jersey actually here. Coach, good seeing you. Have a seat. So Coach Asquini is with us. And, well, let's talk about you guys here. First of all, Libertyville, which is maybe kind of on the other side of the suburbs from you. Had a chance to study your opponent tomorrow very much?
Libertyville, yeah, we've seen them. Yeah, it's going to be a quality ball game for us.
Two very good.
Absolutely.
Taking a look at your history here, let's see, 10 years, head coach at St. Charles East, 276 wins, 110 losses, and then, of course, there was a state championship back in 1999. Does that seem like yesterday to you?
Oh, yeah, it was right around the corner, still fresh in our mind, and we're looking to maybe do the same thing here.
Then, of course,
this weekend.
Final 8 in 2002 and 4th place in 2004. All right, 27-11. At what point this year did you think my Fighting Saints here in 2013, they're going to go to Joliet?
Monday night after we got the last out.
Hey, let's talk about that. Yeah, and of course, that's what they say, one game at a time, in the words of Yogi Berra, not over till it's over. Looking at yours here, here it is. You had Geneva 5-2. You had Roselle, Lake Park out of Roselle 6-0. The Wheaton North 5-3. Now, as a Wheaton resident, I'd heard a lot about that. Was that your toughest game, the 5-3 win over Wheaton North?
They were all really tough. All those games were really tough. Geneva was a tough game. Lake Park, we really had to battle that game, and Wheaton North the same thing. So
then you beat Jacob 7-2 in the super sectionals. So you guys beat a lot of great programs to get here as well. The level of competition at 4A, especially this year, I think this is one of the best baseball seasons I've ever seen. I mean, look at myself personally. I called Lockport's win over Providence, incredible game. I called Mount Carmel's win over Lockport, and I've seen some intense baseball this year. Has this season been special in your eyes?
Absolutely. Yeah, it has. Not just because these guys have gotten here, just they played very, very well here, especially in tournament time.
How about your pitcher? Do you know who you're throwing tomorrow? Who have you leaned on this year on the mound?
Well, the kid that's thrown really well for us is Matt Starr. He's a right-hand pitcher. He threw that game on Monday. And then Nick Huskisson has also thrown very, very well for us, and he'll be our number 2.
Fantastic. Now, hitting wise, station to station, small ball, wait for the 3-run home run. What do you do?
Yeah, and there's no waiting for a 3-run home run with this group. We gotta generate offense and be productive at our bats. Our bats have to be very, very good for us. If that happens, then we got a chance. Anybody in particular, one or two guys that really turned it on for you with the bat once the state tournament started? Well, maybe not turned it on. I know that average-wise, Joe Holscheid's average jumped quite a bit when the tournament started. A kid like Brian Sobieski has been really locked in all year and hits the ball hard all the time. So those two guys have been big for us in the tournaments. Sounds like you got a lot of names. Coach, good luck tomorrow. Thank you very much. And that'll be St. Charles East against Libertyville, and that is our St. Charles East head coach, Lynn Asquini. We've got one more coach to talk to, Jim Schur of Libertyville, and he's going to come up here and talk about how they've done this year. And, of course, Libertyville's last time at this way back in 1976. They were the runner-up in 1976, so it's been a long time for the Libertyville Wildcats. So this is a special moment for them. Well, Coach Schur is going to be up here in a minute. Once again, that schedule tomorrow is going to be the 3A games at 10 and 12 and the 4A games at 3 and 5. Then we'll start all over again on Saturday. Coach, good seeing you. Thanks for coming. Have a seat. And we're going to talk to Coach Jim Schur, the head coach of the Libertyville Wildcats. As I said, 2 Rams in 3A, 2 Wildcats in 4A. So we'll see if we got Wildcats against Wildcats on Saturday. We just might. We'll see. How about this? Here's your record. 11 years, Libertyville head coach, 243 wins, 137 losses. But here's your first trip here. And how long has this been for you waiting for this moment? Got to be special to you.
Oh, it is. It is. It's very rewarding. And, happy for the kids. My second year, we took a team to the Summer State Championship and lost in the final game 2-1 in the 7th inning to Schaumburg. Had the pleasure of being a part of 2 varsity football staffs that played in an 03 state championship, lost in double overtime in Oswego, and won a football, won the very next year in 04. So, yeah, it's a treat to be here, there's no doubt.
I sound like a broken record, but there have been so many close, tight baseball games in this year's state tournament, and I look at what you guys did, and I just say, wow, this is how Libertyville got here. 7-6 over Glenbrook North, 2-1 over Fremd, 2-0 over Stevenson, and then 5-3 over Maine South. Wow, every game, every pitch counted. That's got to be some ride for you. You must feel like your head's spinning right now.
You know, it's been pretty grueling mentally. We've been a team that's scored some runs this year, and pitching as defense has always been the foundation of our team, and it's really been the stronghold throughout the playoffs. Our bats have been good enough to win. We're hoping they erupt at some point. They have most of the season. We've put up a lot of runs this year, but we've been doing enough to get by.
Just past 6 o'clock, 1340 WJOL, Joliet, Will County's News Talk Sports. I'm Steve Brandy, live at Silver Cross Field, and we're talking with our final coach that we're interviewing today as we get ready for tomorrow's big matchup. And Coach Jim Schur talking about his battle against St. Charles East. Had a chance to scout St. Charles East much so far?
Just the game in the super sectional after ours. We played the 5 o'clock game, and they played the 7:30 game, so we've seen them once. Don't know a whole lot about them.
You guys were at the same location that
we
day,
were.
right? Where was that?
In Rockford.
In Rockford, so that helps when you get the team you're playing next at the same location. And, of course, that's the way the NCAA basketball tournament used to always be. Now it's a little more confusing, so a lot of coaches don't like that. You got to love it when you're able to scout and play the same day. Of course, how hard is it to pay attention to scouting when you've had your game on your mind?
It's a little easier when it's after your game than when it's before, because when it's before, you've got your mind dialed in. You line up and the guys doing the right things to get ready and all that. It's a whole lot better when you got a win under your belt and you're kicking back.
I used to live up in the Mundelein area, so I used to watch your team years ago, and seeing you guys here, fantastic. When, at one point, did you know about this year's pitching staff? You know who you're pitching tomorrow, and did your pitching staff click at a certain point this year?
We go to Arizona every year and play in a national invitational tournament. And with the weather we've had, as inclement as it's been, we had one practice. We flew in on a Saturday, practiced on Sunday morning, played our first tournament game on a Monday, and against teams that had 16, 17 games under their belt, we went 3-1 in that week, and pretty good quality team. So we felt at that time that we had something special. Of course, we play in a very tough conference with Mundelein, Stevenson, Lake Zurich. These are teams that perennially are in the hunt and can do some damage. So we knew early on that if we could hold service and get to this point, keep ourselves in the hunt, that good things could happen.
Got to have some car washes every year to raise money for that trip, I'll bet, huh?
We do some fundraising. We have a great parent group that helps out as well.
Who's throwing tomorrow, do you know?
We're still kicking it around. We've narrowed it down to 2 guys.
All right. Can you tell me who those guys are? Who might we see tomorrow?
You might see Jeff Barton. You might see Nate Cody.
Right-handers, are they both? Or,
correct.
Okay. Well, I guess it's going to be a coaches' meeting tonight, and we're going to figure it out. So good luck, Coach, and thank you. Appreciate talking to you here today.
Thank you very much.
Jim Schur, head coach of the Libertyville Wildcats. All right. I'm going to wrap it up and tell you again what those matchups are tomorrow. Get out here to Silver Cross Field. We're going to have a great day of weather, and again, it's going to be game number 1 at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, a 3A semifinal between Grayslake Central and Wheaton St. Francis, and then the noon semifinal will be heard right here on 1340 WJOL, Joliet Catholic against Mount Vernon, and then get out here for the 4A matchups because they are fantastic. Again, the 3 o'clock semifinal, Mount Carmel against Neuqua Valley, the 5 o'clock semifinal, St. Charles East against Libertyville, and again, the Saturday schedule, it's going to start early, 3rd place game for 3A at 9, title game at 11:30, 3rd place game for 4A at 3, and then the title game at 5:30, and of course, wherever Joliet Catholic is playing Saturday, that game will be live here on 1340 WJOL as well. All right, I think we're going to have our coin flips in just a bit, and we're going to let you know who the home teams are in each game, and we're going to be here for a little while longer, live on WJOL, and pretty soon the Joliet Slammers team will take over. The Slammers are home tonight. You know, sometimes we do this routine on a Thursday night before the tournament starts, and the Slammers are already on the road, but tonight they are wrapping up a homestand. The Slammers are at home tonight, and you can come out here and see some Slammers baseball and meet some of these youngsters that are here going for a state championship and just talk baseball all weekend long. Love it. So Craig Anderson is going to be joining me here, I'm sure, in just a bit, and we're going to be having the coin flip, and we'll let you know who the home teams are, and then we'll wrap it up and all that. So, Craig, do you want to take this microphone here? We're going to do that next, so I'll pot you up here, right there. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, special thanks to Steve Brandy for hosting tonight. Let's give him a round of applause. Thanks, Steve, for interviewing the coaches.
All right, and thank you, Craig. We'll go ahead and take it out because we got to go to the Slammers staff anyway. So, Kevin, back at the station, thank you very much. And what we're going to do right now is turn it back to the station. This is 1340 WJOL, Will County's News Talk Sports. I'm Steve Brandy, live here at Silver Cross Field. Slammers baseball in a bit.
All right, we're going to next do the coin flip. So we're going to call up coaches by class, and we'll do it in bracket order.
Top guy calls. He can bat first he wants.
So I need the Grayslake Central coach and the Wheaton St. Francis coaches to join me up here.
Top is going to call.
Okay, top team in the bracket will call the flip, so Coach Whalen will call the flip. Coach Whalen's going to call the flip.
Okay. It's head. Your choice. Kick, receive.
Wheaton St. Francis will be the home team.
All right, guys, thanks.
Okay, now the Mount Vernon coach and Joliet Catholic Academy coach.
Grayslake, you'll be first base. First base dugout. Sounds good. Third base.
Home team will be in the third base dugout. Visiting team will be in the first base dugout. Okay, Mount Vernon will call the toss.
Okay, I'm calling here. Whoa! We'll do it again. This is the call. Tail. Kick, receive. He's in the goal.
So the Catholic will be the home team. Mount Vernon will be the visitors.
First base, coach. Now flips again for third place game. Flip this time. Heads is home. Heads.
So the top team
is on top.
will be the home team. The bottom team will be the visiting team.
That's what coach is saying. Put the spin on it. Tails. Home is on the bottom.
That's the championship.
Home is on the bottom.
For the championship game.
For the championship, yes.
Okay, now for the 4A semifinal games, Chicago Mount Carmel versus Neuqua Valley. The coaches will join us.
Valley's here. Mount Carmel's here. I am Brian.
Coach Rory, you'll call the call.
Mount Carmel call it. Mount Carmel calls it. Heads is the call. It is the tail. Very good choice. You have third base.
Neuqua Valley will be the home team. Chicago Mount Carmel will be the visitors.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, now St. Charles East and Libertyville. Coach Esquini will call the toss.
Your choice.
Okay, Libertyville wins the toss. They'll be the home team. St. Charles East will be the visiting team.
They get the win. Third place.
Okay, third place team.
Tail, bottom.
The bottom team will be the home team. Top team in the bracket will be the visiting team.
Okay, championship game. Championship game. Bottom.
Home team will be the bottom team on the bracket. Visiting team will be the top team on the bracket. Okay, at this time, all we have left for tonight's activities here is a coaches meeting. So if I could have all head coaches come visit us. We'll take these two tables right here in the front. Slammers will be playing a game at 7 o'clock. You're welcome to stay and watch the baseball game. Otherwise, we'll see everyone tomorrow. Thank you for coming.
See you guys tomorrow. Yeah, I'm right here. Stick around here, guys.
Hey, Chris. Chris. Let's go this, please.
See, at least tomorrow night you'll have Corey to be on. Ready? Wrong one. Tear it down. Tear it up.